Hello! Today I'm going to be rebuilding my bird feeder. This is part of the pipe left from the old feeder that was here when we moved in, and I want to take advantage of this because my one has shrunk a bit because it's rusted and broken, which is exactly what's happened to this one. But I want to take this apart. You can see the join there, but I can't get them apart. That is completely fused. I can't join this to my pole until I get it out of this one because the end is rusted off, it's broken. That's going to happen to mine eventually. It is starting to get that way, but this one's already happened, so I can't slot that into my existing system. So I need to somehow get these apart. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it yet. Maybe I don't know. I'm going to try to see if I can find some WD-40. I think it's just going to be WD-40 and brute strength really. Right, so that didn't work. I cannot get these apart with the current tools I have at hand. Maybe if I had some way of clamping up both ends and pulling, I might be able to get them apart. I don't know. But as it is, I can't do it with what I have available. I managed to get loads of rust to fall out each end of the tube, but other than that, I can't do it. So either I just go for a really short bird feeder with my existing pipes, or I try and squash the end up because I have a vise available to me, but the problem is the vise isn't actually attached to anything, which is why I couldn't use it. So I was thinking I'll clamp this end in the vise and pull it, but that's not going to help when the vise isn't attached to anything. But I can use it to maybe crush the end to make it small enough to fit in my existing pipe work. If that doesn't work, then I just have to buy a new one. Right, so that was successful. I've squashed it and clamped it and then banged it into here. Problem is, I was like banging it into get it down. Now the end here is a bit gnarled up. I can file that down, but it's ridiculously long now. It's you know, it could be fine, but the problem is it used to fall over in the wind quite a lot, so I had to weight the base. I mean, the base is weighted anyway. So I could keep it stupidly long, but that would be a bit of an effort to change the feeders. Let's see, I come up to here, and then it's got that much after me. So I might have to cut it down a bit. The cutting it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be because I found this wonderful tool. It's meant for cutting copper pipe in plumbing, but it made really easy work of this. It just glided through it. So yeah, got that much off. It's still quite tall, but that's fine. Now I need to start getting the feeders on here so the birds can come and feed. Right, so anyway, you came here for bird feeders, not pipes. So let's start looking at my feeders. These two are mine, I believe. This one's a bit battered up. Alright, so this is what I used to put peanuts in this one. What's going on? That's broken. The syrup balls would go in there. These need really badly cleaning up. And this has been squashed and down. I didn't realise this was so badly damaged. It must have got damaged in the move. I don't know if this is actually worth cleaning up because like the paint's chipping off everywhere. Can't be good for the birds. Let's see. This one I think is rescuable. I've already modified this once before. I can't remember if I showed it on a video or not. This is an old coat hanger hanging it up. So it hangs like that. I can't remember what the original arrangement was now. And this is what I'd put the Niger or Niger. I'm never so sure if it's Niger or Niger seeds. But this base is broken. Yeah. That's really badly broken up. That's not supposed to look like that. That's supposed to be a solid base with holes in it. It's not supposed to be smashed up. Okay, it's this one. It's a bit dirty, but it can be cleaned up, but there's no lid. So all the rain's just going to get in and make the food go bad. I'm not doing very well. I've got a spare lid, but that doesn't fit on this. Right, I found the lid for this one. So yeah, it's a bit manky at the moment, but that can be washed up. It's going to take a while to clean this out. But I think this one is salvageable once it's cleaned up. So I'm going to put that in the save pile. This one again, I think once it's salvageable and I've got off all the chipping paint, I think this one can be cleaned. See, I've already done some modifications to it. This clip here, that doesn't come with the feeder. I think that can be saved. It's a little bit rusty, but I think it'll be alright. This one is salvageable, so that one's alright. No, I'm going to say I can't save this because the pins would have to go through these holes at the base, which would go into corresponding holes here. But that's just all. That's a shame. I like this feeder. This one I can rescue. Ignore the lid that's hanging off there. That used to be on my old system. I think I can save that. Clean that up. Obviously cut the lid off. So it's the next day, and I found the brush for cleaning my feeders, and I found these feeders, which I don't think you've ever seen on this channel before. These are a bit of a mission to take apart and clean. I'm not going to film it because that would be quite dull. And if you want to see me cleaning a feeder, I have a video already made about that. Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a challenge getting this thing apart. I did go to the shop to buy a cone which goes around the pipe of the bird feeder, and it stops the squirrels going up. It's the only thing I've ever seen that actually works against squirrels. Things like those cages don't work, and other things don't work, but this cone does. Local garden centre doesn't sell them. I've cleaned my feeders. These were a little bit difficult to get apart, but I figured out eventually. Got them nice and clean. This one, look, you can see the top of that is all bent, but it's clean and functionable, so that's good. This one, I don't think this one's got the right lid because it doesn't really stay on. But I don't have any other lids, so that'll have to do. These are a pain to clean because you can't get into the top of the lid properly. Both of these had a lot of stuff in the top of the lid, and I just couldn't get up there easily at all. I managed it eventually, but they've had like all sorts of dirt and webs and bits. These are probably the easiest ones to clean. Still a little bit of water in there, but yeah. So I'm gonna put them outside, fill them up with food. Got a little bit of fresh food here, and I've got loads of old food. I don't know how good my food is though, because it's actually really old. I put it in a box to pack for the moving a long time ago. I'm not actually sure what I've got, what condition it's in, whether the birds will even still eat it. I'll put it out though. I'm going to set up my feeder now, and then I'm going to put the food out. But from my previous experience, it takes the birds roughly about a week to figure out that you've actually put the food out there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set it up now, make sure it's stable and doesn't fall over in a breeze. Then I'm going to film it again in a week, because by then the birds should have figured out that the feeders are there. So disaster struck during the night. It's been up for one night and it's fallen over. As you can see, this was the weak point. It's bent there. I didn't actually fill up all these feeders, but I filled up some of them. I did have extra weight on top of the weight as well to stop it blowing over, but I might have to think of something else. So, update. My hair is awful. I know, and needs cutting. Right, so this feeder now is much shorter. It was originally like way above me. I've cut off the damaged part, so this is the damaged bit. I've removed that, and it's now this much shorter, so that's the bit I've removed. So not even all these feeders will even fill up yet. I never even got round to filling this one, or this one. The water one still needs some stuff in it. So yeah, this, I've now got these hanging on the wall. So that's the peanuts and the fat thing. You can see rats have been nibbling at it while it was on the ground. And then around the other side, I've got these syrup balls and sunflower seeds. So a week has passed and I've set up my old webcam to film the birds feeding. I've put it initially on the feeders on my wall, and as you can see, a squirrel has come along. I've got quite a few clips of this squirrel, so I'm going to have to do something about that. I might put the cage feeder there or put up some kind of barrier between the bench and the feeder. I can't really move the bench, there isn't really anywhere else for me to put it, so I don't really know what I'm going to do about this. I'll figure something out. Also, as you can see, the camera angle isn't perfect at the moment. It takes a little while to get it just right. I've got the peanut feeder in the frame, but the fat cage is a little bit out of frame. As you can see by this blue tip, it goes up here, and it does go out of frame for a little while. So I'm going to have to move the camera. Also, the camera is currently inside, taped to the window. I need to put it outside, but I can't find my USB extension cable right now. Once I find that, I'll be able to put it outside, and also the sound quality will be much better as well. Because right now, because the microphone's inside, the automatic level has gone right up, which is why it's just picking up a load of static. And in a moment, you'll hear me inside my room, and I'm also listening to a YouTube video that picks up the sound of that. So I need to find the cable. As you can see, there's a robin here, and the audio's just gone right up, so I need to sort that out. And you can see the robin's gone up frame. So I'm going to go and see if I can find the wire to extend the camera and put it in a better position. So as you can see, I have put the camera outside. I only have the one camera that I can put outside and still connects up to my laptop to record with the motion detection. So it's going to take me a while to get around all three locations. So I'm going to stop talking now, and the rest of this video is just basically going to be the birds feeding, so you can enjoy them or you can stop watching, it's up to you. But I will get round to all three of my feeding locations in turn and stick them on this video, so enjoy.